Hey guys, I'm back with another COVID home test kit video. Since the last one did pretty well, I decided I wanted to try out other brands out there. But instead of having one brand in each video, I'm gonna try to get as many as I can and put them all in this video. So I have 5 widely available test kits in Malaysia with me right now. Firstly, we have the JusChek, which is the one I used in the previous video. This is a different packaging. And then we have from BeRight, we have Salixium, AllTest, and lastly Gmate. There was supposed to be 6 test kits, but when it all came, I realized that one of it was exactly the same as this. The seller was just using an older picture, so 5 it is. Now before I start the testing, I just want to have a quick look around the box and see what's similar and what's different. So the JusChek I'm familiar with. The instructions are easy to understand and it's at the back. One thing I realized is that for BeRight, check this out. The instructions are exactly the same, even the graphic they use. So are they the same company? We don't know. Next, we have the Salixium. I don't see any instructions on the box itself. What concerns me the most is that this one says it's a saliva and or nasal swab test. And looking at the length of this, I am concerned that I have to swab my own nose, because that is a not so fun experience, as I'm sure a lot of you have gone through. Next, we have the AllTest. So my previous JusChek came in this form, and I'm quite sure the instructions are on the inside. If I can open it. Wow, look at that. Doesn't this look familiar? It's the same instructions as JusChek and BeRight. Interesting. And lastly, we have Gmate. So this one doesn't have instructions, but there is a QR code for you to see an instructional video. I'm quite sure there's a paper instruction on the inside, because for you to rely on a video instruction, imagine if you're in a rural area with no data, that's a bit challenging. So now that we've had a quick look at all the tests, I'm gonna take everything out, assemble it, and make sure everything is organized, because this whole test needs to go at one shot, which means I need to have a lot of saliva donated. That is why I have so much water right here right now. See you in a bit. Alright guys, I'm back and I have read the instructions a bit better so that I can do everything smoothly, and I've done some rearrangements. This AllTest is all the way to the left because yes, this flappy thing and I didn't want it to block anything. And most importantly, 3 of this have the same instructions, so all of that will be done together, and this has a time of 15 minutes. Now moving to the Salixium, one is in the mouth, one is in the nose. There's no running from that, and the reason it's here is because this takes about 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm going to give this 10 minutes. And lastly, we have the Gmate, which only requires 5 minutes to get your results. So I've align them, I've positioned them in a way that I can do this first, let the time go off, focus on this, and by the end of this whole thing, hopefully all the results will come back together. And I'm actually a bit scared if this one test kit from the previous video made me anxious. Imagine doing 5. Alright, let's start with these 3, and the instructions clearly say don't drink, smoke, eat or whatever for at least 10 minutes before. Deeply cough 3 to 5 times. Which line is it? The first line. Alright, let's do this. Too much. Well, it's mostly bubble at the bottom. Okay, now it's time to put the buffer inside. Okay. Squeeze for 10 seconds afterwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put the cap on. And we have to open the, I forgot what this thing is called. Okay, so let's move this a bit forward, and well, let me show you in the video. So this is the test kit, I guess. Let's just call it the test kits. If I'm not mistaken, it is 2 drops. 2 drops. 1. Ew. So that is there. Now, repeat the same steps for these other test kits. Even though the instructions are the same, I do realize some different variation between the contents of the packaging. So, like all the way to the left, AllTest had a buffer that you need to separately insert. This one has the buffer already inside, so it's one less step. Deeply cough 3 to 5 times to this level, and then squeeze for 10 seconds to make sure everything mixes. Come on, okay, that's enough. Oops, taking it out. 1, 2, put the cover on. Take this thing off. I'm using the AllTest container as my trash can. Okay, so this is for JusChek, 2 drops. 1, 2. Oh, the saliva is a bit cleaner here. Okay, there you go. Round 3. So see, this one has the buffer in a separate packaging. I much prefer the JusChek. It's just one less step. Okay. That is enough. Oh my god. Saliva everywhere. Oh, I have the tube. Use the tube. I mean, use the hole to hold your tube. Oh, now it feels like a science experiment. One, two. What caught my attention is that this is asking me to squeeze 10 to 15 times, and the other ones so far were asking me to squeeze for 10 seconds. Slight variations. There's also an alcohol pad in this one. Right. Another one. 1, 2. Ooh. Okay. Some of them are already giving results. Negative, thankfully, but let's proceed. And oh no, not this one. Let me just double confirm this. Swab 1 inside of the mouth, inside of the cheek, actually, on both sides, and the top of your mouth. And then the nose part, let me show you. The nose part, 2 cm in. 2 cm is not that far in. It's definitely not all the way in, so not bad at all. Open this. Ooh, the buffer is all the way to the top. Put it in my little science experiment kit, and I mean, it'll be fine. It's only 2 cm in. Hard. Very hard. Hot. That goes in. 2 centimeters. Should I go deeper? I need to take a picture of this first. Okay. That's not that far in, but oh, that is itchy. Okay, what's the next step? I'm crying. Mix it in. 10 times spinning. Squeeze the cotton so that the maximum amount of liquid is left. My nose. Oh man, that was not even far in. Not that bad, honestly. The 4th one. 1, 2. Alright, now the last one from Gmate. And this is the one that is going to take the least amount of time. So open up the buffer. Put it in. Wait, not yet. My saliva in first. Halfway line. I think that should be enough. That is insanely full. Oops. What is the instructions? Squeeze 20 times. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I feel like that Vietnamese guy that sings the 41, 42. Shake 20 times. The final one. Let's do a dramatic one. I missed. Okay, stop playing around. Don't do this if you're doing a test for someone else. They might have COVID. Alright, 20 minutes has passed and that should give enough time for all these test kits to develop their results, and I'm happy to announce that everything has a line on the C, which means it's negative, that everything is a C. And if I didn't show this earlier, how the results will look like. So a positive will be 2 lines or this 1.5 line thing, and negative would be on C, and if it was on the other one, that would be invalid. So it's you have to do the test again because there's a chance that it's a false positive. Anyway, I am so relieved that all of this came back negative. So let me give some closing thoughts about each of these test kits. Now, 3 of this, they are exactly the same process. I like the JusChek because the buffer is already in the tube, so that's one less step. My second choice would probably be this. It has the buffer separately, so that's an extra step. And this one is exactly the same as this, but what I wouldn't like about this is it's a full plastic packaging, and if this is something going to the mass amount of people, this is probably bad for the environment. Now moving on, we have the Salixium, and I have nothing against this brand, and I think it is accurate. I'm quite sure it is. It's just that it is a slightly more complicated collection process, and there's a chance for user error. I mean, all of them have a user error chance, but this one is probably the highest because you have your cheek and nasal swab. So probably not go for this. I don't know. If it's your only option, still get it. It is accurate. I'm just thinking about the general person doing this, not really reading the instructions. And for the Gmate, it is exactly the same as JusChek. It's just that this has a very short waiting period, just 5 minutes, and I think when it's a longer waiting time, you feel that it's more accurate compared to a shorter time, but I'm sure that's not the case. And this, I'd recommend any of them. At the end of the day, all of them are accurate, and it is pretty simple unless you are really not even looking at the instructions at all. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope that this video can clear up any confusion or myths that you guys have about the COVID test kits. It's accurate, it's simple, and I honestly think that you should definitely keep at least one in your home for each person. I know that COVID is, you know, we're slowly beating it with vaccinations as well, but having this, testing at home, if you think you're positive, rather than going out, getting in a car, getting in a taxi, calling a family member to accompany you, this is just a very smart thing to do. And in Malaysia, they actually reduced the price. So the first JusChek that I bought was 40 bucks, and now it's 20 bucks in ringgit, I mean, so it's half the price. Anyway, I'll include all the purchase links for all these test kits in the description box below. I bought them on Lazada, so now they're available on Lazada. If they're available on any other platforms like Shopee or whatever, I'll include them below as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.